value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the amazing show, the CEO Show. This is a show that always comes to you every Tuesday from 7:30 to 9. And this is a show that always looks forward to bring you different personalities from different industries who are going to talk about their experiences and specifically the lessons that has taken them to be where they are. We are going to look into people who have stories, people who have gotten from grace to the vice versa, that is from grass to grace, and also people who have gotten from down the ladder up there. But most importantly, in this particular show, we look into their story. What is it that comes with their story? The main objective of this particular show is to inspire you, to motivate you, and also to educate you from different industry. Remember, I am your host, Dan. And tonight we have it live with an amazing guest. Today we are talking about IT, we are talking about technology in business. This is somebody who has risen from down there and is going to talk about what is the importance of having technology or merging technology in your business and ensuring that your business stays afloat for a longer period. Who is our guest tonight? Our guest tonight is Mr. Duncan Ronoh, who is the founder and also the CEO of KIBET Consultants International. Tonight we are going international and we are so delighted to have him in this particular show. Welcome, sir, to this particular show.
Yes.
You're feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
Remember, we are coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, and also tonight we are also on TikTok. Don't forget to share this conversation for somebody to know that you're watching, and also drop a comment for somebody to know that you are part of this conversation, and most importantly for us to know that you are part of this. If you have a question tonight to our guest, please don't hesitate to share on the comment section for him to respond in the course of this particular bulletin. But most importantly, tell us where you're watching from, tell us where you're getting us live from, and we'll be in a position to converse and make this conversation going. Mr. Ronoh, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
In a brief introduction, tell us, who are you?
By my name, I'm Duncan Ronoh.
Yes.
Born and raised in Wasingishu.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in the year 1988 in District Hospital here. Raised in Japtiret.
Okay.
Went to kindergarten in Lelmolok.
Okay.
Thereafter, I went to boarding school after finishing class 5.
Okay.
In Baringo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you chose to go to boarding school. Even before going into your education and all that, how were you? Tell us about your siblings. Were you born alone? Do you have siblings? And how was the experience you growing up back in the days?
Okay, I'm a firstborn in the family of 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
An African family, that is.
An African family.
Okay. Now, being a firstborn, because sometimes we say that firstborns are always like assistant parents.
Yes.
What did it come with it, the responsibilities, and as a young person, you growing up here? The good thing you grew in Wasingishu. How was it you growing up? What kind of a kid were you?
Okay. I was an outgoing kid, and there was a lot of pressure. You know, you are told you don't succeed in your examinations, your fellow brothers and sisters will follow suit. So you have to succeed.
You have to lead the way.
You have to lead the way. Yes.
So lazima ufungue like everything you do must be right.
Must be right.
You have to pass in class.
Yes.
Were you an average kid, or were you a bright kid, or a genius in class?
Okay, I wouldn't say a genius, but I was a bright kid. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you growing up, that is, you went to boarding back in Baringo. What were you aspiring to be? You know, sometimes you have these kids that all of us were being asked, what do you want to go? What do you want to be when you grow up? What was your aspiration? Like, what were you looking up to?
Actually, I was a kid whom I was average in terms of my academics. I used to do well in all the subjects. Yeah.
Okay.
So I knew that if I succeed in everything, I can be anything I want to be in life.
Okay.
Yes.
But for example, yourself, did you have this, like, you want to be an IT guy? Ulikuwa hata an idea that there was something known as IT?
No. I had no idea. Yes.
So ulikuwa unataka kuwa nani? Ulikuwa unataka kuwa pastor?
Maybe a pilot.
Oh, a pilot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then immediately you proceeded for your high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where?
Tenges Boys.
Okay.
Yes.
Then that is now in Tenges High School, and Tenges High School was a good school.
Yes.
Then which school, which mark did you get back in school?
I got a B minus. Yes.
Then immediately after that?
Immediately after that is when I chose a course, and I wanted to do BCom, but my dad convinced me to do BBIT. He was given, because I was interested in business from the word go. Because even as I remember in high school, I was forced to do music. Then I did it for the first time in Form 1. Then thereafter, I went to do business. Yeah, by force. So I had the ambition of doing business.
Okay.
Yes.
But now then, I'm also keen to understand now that your dad forced you to do BBIT.
Yes.
Yourself, you wanted to pursue BCom.
Yes.
Probably tonight we are speaking to parents who wish their children could pursue 1, 2, 3. And sometimes we are dealing with an education system whereby we tend now to give liberty to children to choose and pursue what they feel their passion is in. But yourself being forced to do what you didn't want to do, do you think it affected you in pursuance to your profession?
Okay, it didn't per se, because as far as I did 30% core business units and 70% core IT units. Which again, when I see the people who were in common classes who did BCom and business management, they're in several fields and they are not specialized in anything. Maybe like in entrepreneurship, like accounts. But now me, I'm into IT also, and I thank God because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, for example, we also have people are joining campus and all that. Sometimes we have computer science, we have BBIT, we have and different technological courses. What are the major differences along all this?
Okay, the major differences per se is nowadays, you know, IT cuts across everywhere in all industries. Like in agriculture, there is IT. You can do agriculture with IT, statistics with IT. Like in KIBET, they are offering a course called business management with IT. In my university, they are offering business management with IT again, BBIT. In JECWA, they are offering BBIT. So there is no major difference. But in computer science, you go deeper. Yes.
Okay, now looking across the courses that are there available, because currently we are seeing that a lot of courses are not making sense even to some students. A report came in last year that some courses, close to 50% of courses being offered in universities are not relevant to the current age and times. But how important is now IT in the current age?
IT is very important nowadays because now that is, theory without practice is nonsensical at all. So like most of the things that we used to see as theory in IT is what we are seeing now in practical, like artificial intelligence. We were doing artificial intelligence as a course, but now it is a reality.
Okay.
Yes. But then even we used to code with Prolog, but now there are more advanced methods of doing AI systems. Yeah.
Okay.
So now it is relevant.
Okay.
So again, you cannot demystify theory. That is knowledge that can be put into practicality.
Okay.
So in whatever domain you are in, there are some theories that can be implemented in real life situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you cannot demystify theory. Yes.
Okay, just in connection as we wind up on with regard to that, now we have people who have specialized in different angles and different fields.
Yes.
For example, myself, I'm into accounting, I'm into finance,
Yes.
but the knowledge of IT is very important. And sometimes
Yes.
people have read books, and sometimes we are advised to take short courses on IT because being versed in IT is very important. Do you advocate for the same, like somebody should have an IT knowledge, either in business, either in different fields that is not related to it?
If IT knowledge is good because if you are not conversant with the current trends, you should brace yourself with new skills. Now they say that illiteracy is not knowing how to read and write. It is not knowing how to learn. So you can learn anything.
That is our definition of illiteracy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It is the ability to learn and relearn.
Okay.
Yes. So you can learn as many things as possible. Like I'm a living example. I've learned several things. Be it be psychology, I've learned philosophy, I know many things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agriculture, I learn also. Yeah.
Okay, now moving forward, now immediately after you did BBIT, that is in Moi University, right? Which
I did it in Mount Kenya University.
Oh, Mount Kenya University.
Nakuru campus.
Okay. And after graduating, now what happened next? Now you're somebody that you've proven to do a lot of things at a go. You've said that you've learned IT, you've learned what else and all that.
Yes.
How did you manage to do all this, and what was the importance of you studying all this?
Okay. It's good. There is no useless knowledge. Because you can learn something today, in 10 years it becomes applicable.
Okay.
So at times, at times when you are going through something, maybe you don't have a job. You don't let you not having a job be an excuse to become empty-headed. You have to learn something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, immediately after getting your degree, now you went around looking for a job, or what happened?
I only went for one interview. Yes.
Only one?
Only one.
Was it successful?
That one was successful.
What was the story behind it?
It was successful. It was an interview on becoming it was an internship interview.
Okay.
Yes.
For which position?
It was a presidential digital talent program. Yes.
You secured the opportunity?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
It was very vigorous. Yes.
What did it entail now?
Now, you had, it was organized by government. You have the whole government machinery interviewing you. You're moving from this stage to this stage to this stage, and these are people who know IT very well. These are professors in IT, doctors in IT.
Okay.
They are interviewing you and you should pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was, at that point now you had zero experience. You are fresh from school, and this is an interview that you wanted, this opportunity, that is internship opportunities.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have young people who say that you find that every job application that is outside there, the qualification should always be like 2 years experience. Do you think sometimes it's unfair for job seekers, not even job seekers, for employers to consider 2 years experience or 10 years experience. But here there is somebody who comes out of university and they need an opportunity. Yourself, you took that opportunity.
It's unfair to tell somebody that you should have a 5 years experience when in recent this person knows that this person is fresh from campus. Let me tell you something. An example of this company called Google. They employ fresh graduates. So their imaginations, you know, your experience can be a barrier also to your progress. You could say that you could have a know-it-all attitude. So a person who is fresh from campus is very creative and is trying to implement everything he knows. You will not say that I've never happened before. Like an experienced person, 10 years experience, you will say I've never seen this. Yeah.
Okay. And just to connect with, I was speaking to an employer the other day, and they say that the challenge that they face is somebody who is fresh from campus, especially at this time and age. There is somebody that will just come, and mostly they might have graduated on shoddy experiences in terms of getting shortcuts and all that. Somebody has a second class upper division, but is not equal to the opportunities that is outside there. So when they get to the job environment, they disappoint. Do you think we have the right workforce who are just fresh from campus?
Now, that's where the rubber meets the road. I saw a quote which says that stay fit because your future doctors are still in exams.
That is the future doctor?
Yes, are still in exams. So by the time you become sick, you'll be treated by quacks.
How true is that?
It is not true. It could be true or not true. Because at this age, there is the AI.
But AI can...
Some people graduate and say, I want ChatGPT for making me succeed.
But now we appreciate the fact that IT has advanced.
Yes.
But now I cannot go to ChatGPT to ask that I have this kind of, I'm sick, I have a headache, I have this, and get some medicine from the same. Do you think, as much as we embrace technology, we still need this human workforce?
Yes, we still need them. Yeah.
So where now is the leverage between the two?
Now, you know, AI actually is the mimicking of a human expert.
True.
Yeah. Like you can mimic a financial expert, you can mimic an accountant, you can mimic a writer, you can mimic a doctor. Yeah, even AI can give you some prescriptions. Yeah, it should be used for leverage, not
replacement.
Not replacement.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, just to we'll get into details about the same. But now I was keen to note about entry job positions for IT, because we have a lot of people at Amaking looking for job opportunities in IT and all that. Yourself, having gone through that radical experience about the interviews, being interviewed by different government machineries and all that, and getting into internship. But for sure, internship sometimes it's not well paying. But we have these young people who always say that I won't take an internship position. I need a real job. What are you advising these fresh graduates?
First of all, internship will introduce you to different people. They say your network is your network, and you have to know how to unlock the network in your network. So how you build resilience and network is through these internships.
Okay.
Yeah, you can even volunteer to work for free, like what I did in between 2015 to 2016 before I started my internship. I used to sell softwares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Made by who?
Huh?
Made by who?
Someone I don't want to mention.
Okay. So you were just a broker for softwares?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it paying?
It was paying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after this, that was your first employment. Let me call it an employment, because internship is as good as employment.
Yeah.
That was your first place working.
Yes.
Then that was final. before you now venturing into business?
That was final.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what motivated you not to look for job opportunities but choose to start your own company? Because you had the opportunity of making new other applications, you had the opportunity of getting other jobs, but you chose not to do it. What made you to venture into your own business?
I wanted to create a brand and make a name and leave a legacy. Because having set up a company, I knew that I will be in a position to do many things that I could not do as an employee. Yes.
Okay.
First of all, there is also freedom. You can decide your own things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was your motivation to start your own company? You've talked about the freedom and all that, but is there anybody that inspired you to start your own company and run your own business?
Yes.
Who was it?
Actually, two people. First of all is my mentor called Joshua Keretz, and another cousin of mine called KIBET.
They were running their own companies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, starting your company now, KIBET Consultants International, and it's quite a big name.
Yes.
And what were now the new challenges? Is it something that you just woke up in the morning and say that I need to start my company? Or what was the process for you to initiate your company?
The process, I started first as a business name. That was in February 2018. And I used to trade with it. And when I get small gigs here, deals here, I get my company.
At that time, you had an office or it was just a briefcase company?
It was a briefcase company. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And looking now back into it, because I always draw also inspiration from the same, looking back to it, the first time you had a business and made money out of it, how was the feeling?
Very satisfying. Yes.
Okay. From there, how did you now grow the company?
Now from them, I moved into somebody's office. I was updated the office.
Ukambia nisonge?
Nikaambia nisonge. Yes.
Okay.
Then thereafter I moved to another office, subletted also. Then in the year 2022, that is when I incorporated it. I made it to become a limited company. Now I got my own office. Yeah.
Okay.
And I operated now as a limited company.
Any other person outside there, whenever we talk about self-employment, whenever we talk about starting a business, venturing into a business, they always have one challenge, which is financial muscle, financial capital, financial outlay. Was it the same challenge with you?
Of course. Yeah.
How did you manage now?
The only thing how to manage that is through increasing the sales. Because if you say you go for a loan, then you might end up being auctioned. So you don't do that. What I do is that I do more marketing.
Okay.
And as I do more marketing, I generate more leads. If I generate more leads, I generate more sales. And those sales is revenue.
Okay.
Yes. And that's how I manage it.
Okay. No, because if I can remember, we met sometimes back in the years when, and you did a good software for my company.
Yes.
Now, how do you manage now to package your business? Sometimes we have people with beautiful ideas about businesses, beautiful concepts, but now packaging it and selling it outside there becomes a challenge, because we find that somebody might have a good idea, but now packaging it and say that, hey, this is what I sell, this is what I'm doing, becomes a problem. But yourself, you've managed to create a network, people knowing you for softwares, people knowing you for IT. How did you crack that nut?
Okay. Everywhere I go, I speak about my business. Anyone I meet, I talk about my business. Yes. Yeah. And I've known how to create more friendship. There is a way I connect to people effortlessly.
Okay.
Yes.
Which other than that, what do you think is now the winning concept in your marketing strategy?
I've identified myself in a way that I'm not like any other IT company. We merge business strategies with IT solutions. So it's not just a standalone IT company. Yeah. It's a one-stop shop for your business needs and your IT needs. Yes.
Now, all these needs, now breaking it down for our viewers to understand, because people getting it in a nutshell that IT needs, business needs. What are these needs now? Looking into details about it.
Okay, like in business, we deal with strategic plans. You know, I normally say that resources minus strategy is equals to poverty. So you must have a strategy. Maybe you are a business that is struggling and you need to come back to the drawing board. That is when you look for me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll assist you, draw you a strategic plan and work the journey with you. Yeah.
But now, most people don't see the, like, in a layman's language, sometimes somebody will just ignore the essence of a business strategy. We talk about business strategy, sometimes it's about either short-term or long-term.
Yes,
and
yes, really short-term and long-term.
Yeah. Now, looking or explaining to our viewers tonight, how important is it for any business? Because sometimes you see big companies launching their business strategic plans, launching their 5-year strategic plan, 10-year strategic plan. But sometimes people think it is for the big companies.
No,
but now for the small companies, how important is it?
It's not only for the big companies, even the small companies. Even you as a person, you can have a strategic plan for yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
A 10-year strategic plan, you can plan it in blocks of 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. After these 10 years, I want to be somewhere. Then these 10 years, you break the strategic plan into 5-year plan. Then you further break it into yearly plans, isn't it? You further break the yearly plans into monthly plans. Then the monthly plans into daily plans.
Okay.
Yeah. But now you'll be making small actions, but you know you have the bigger picture.
Okay.
Yes.
But is it equivalent to what we always so excited about? We are getting into 2025. People talk about their resolutions, and sometimes we fail even to meet previous resolutions. We are always excited. Do you think it's equivalent to the same? Like, we make resolutions, but now we rarely follow or we rarely stick to our resolutions. Is it the same as strategic plan? What is it that makes a business person stick to what they want to achieve? 1 year, 2 years, 10 years later.
You define your problem. First of all. You remember every human beings have got problems. Every business has a problem. And also the problems you want to solve in the society. So you define the problems and you propose the solutions and also the expected results. And that is how you will audit them. Yeah. Was the solution favorable? Did you find the results, the best results that you expected? That's how you can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another need that was now business strategy. Another one that you offer as a company.
We offer marketing strategies also. We offer business plans, trainings, and team buildings. Then on the IT side, we offer software development. Like, you could come to me with an idea and tell me you have this idea and you want it to become a reality, and we shall implement it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is now in terms of business plan.
In terms of IT.
Or in terms of IT.
Yes.
So any other any.
I will build you a business plan around that also.
Okay.
And a strategic plan around that.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, bringing all these needs and having it under KIBET Consultants International,
yes.
How do you manage now to draw the lines? Because as I come to you, I need to understand, like, what am I coming to benefit, or what am I going to get from your company?
Yes.
And somebody say that you earn from solving somebody's problem.
Yes, of course.
Very true, right?
Yeah.
But now, as I come to you, to your company, how should I approach your company? Is it an IT company? Is it a business consultant? Or
okay, thank you for asking. It's a business information technology firm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, business information technology.
Okay. Now, in around, as we close that about your company, this is now 2020, it's now 3 years. We are going to the 4th year running this business.
Yes.
How has it been managing this kind of business?
Okay, it's been very interesting because I'm tasked with looking for opportunities for this company. And I've been networking all over. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very interesting process.
Okay.
Though I can't say that I know everything. I'm not a know-it-all person. I keep on learning every day. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I sleep at 1 in the
At night.
at night every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also have people who work under you now as the lead person in that
Yes.
particular company.
Yes.
When it comes to management and leading a company, sometimes big companies have fallen because of poor management or lack of good management. Yourself, what do you think is your kind of or your management kind of strategy?
No, I avoid micromanage. I don't micromanage. I rather work with people who are even more advanced than me in some areas, but I don't micromanage. Yes. If it is coding a website, I just guide you, but I don't follow you telling you why have you not done this. Yeah, because people need to grow under you. Yes.
And now people need to grow under you, yes, but now getting the right people sometimes become an issue.
It becomes an issue.
There is always an issue. Any company will always have a challenge of getting the right people for the right job.
Yes.
But how do you now source for your staff and getting the right people who can understand your vision?
Okay, how I source for my staff through networks, through my networks is how I can, if I identify talent, I can converse with that person, and also we need to, we need to balance between personal objectives and organizational objectives. What are the objectives of this person, and what are the objectives of my organization? So we have to harmonize all these two.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, remember our guest is Duncan Ronoh, who is the founder and the CEO of KIBET Consultants International, and is sharing his experience about coming up and also running this great company. And from this, we're getting great nuggets. Tell us where you're watching from, and we'll be in a position to appreciate you in the course of this particular bulletin. And also, if you have a question with regard to IT and in connection with running your business, because this is a time and age whereby we cannot separate the two, that is IT and entrepreneurship. What are some of the questions that you wish to get and also to understand from our guest tonight? And tell us if you're getting us loud and clear, and where are you watching us from as we keep this conversation going. Duncan, as we now proceed to managing and also running this particular company, but now I'm so keen, another aspect that you are running in terms of now marketing a business, and marketing is a critical aspect in any business. Speaking now as a consultant, because we see that we see big companies, for example, if I can just mention Safaricom, they always have a big budget with regard to marketing, and that is something that they are so keen about. Now, talking about our companies and our businesses, how important is it to ensure that you invest a lot in marketing and putting your business outside there? And what are the factors that every company should consider before marketing their companies, speaking as a consultant?
First of all, you should consider that you should, first of all, you should be offering a solution, and your solution should be viable in the market. It should be actually be solving a real problem in the society. Yes.
Okay. What are some of other factors that businesses should consider? And what is a good marketing strategy? How does it look like?
Okay, it should be a step-by-step process. Like you can start from creating a portfolio, then going to a website, like that. Yeah.
Just
up to digital marketing.
Okay. Before even you get to the advanced stages, take a scenario. I'm I'm new in business. I've just opened my company or my business. It's just a startup. And I want to get a good strategy. How can I build my strategic plan with regard now to marketing to make my company known? Because marketing is about creating awareness, people knowing what you offer, people knowing what you're selling. Now, how can I get into a market?
Okay, now, in this case, you should be in a position to know your market very well first. Then, it need to be appropriate for you to use social media influencing, or you have your social media handles or a website before you go into that, first of all. Because there are businesses that don't require actually the use of technology per se, but there are some that require. So you have to know the kind of marketing approach you can use. Yes.
Okay. But do you think in this time and age there is a business that is, we can say that it doesn't need IT?
IT is also important, but at times you could be operating in a small way, and if you go IT, you can have a lot of clients whom you cannot be in a position to serve them. Yes.
Okay.
Which is dangerous. You have to grow slowly.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, in connection to the same about now, because marketing is about data. It's about figures, knowing what is your market reach and what is your market capacity, to what extent that is you've gotten into a certain market. But speaking about figures, because somebody say that figures don't lie, very important.
Yes.
And IT is one thing that data is very important.
Yes.
How can we improve our data management in a company?
Okay, now, like for instance, I was involved in a project in 2015 that for a US company, Red Bull North America. And there is this company called S3. S3 has got all the data for the US citizens. And so when they are doing their campaigns, they know everything, like the demographic data, income, age, all that. So when they are doing that, they know if they are targeting youths, they know where to market, the states to market in, how they can concentrate their marketing. So here in Kenya, we have not gone to that extent because we have opendata.go.ke. You know that?
Yeah.
So it is not that there is no much data about businesses around. So actually, Kenya, we are operating in it's like an informal setup. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like a dual economy, to say.
But do you think as Kenyans we are ignorant to know our figures?
We need to work hard on that.
What is it that makes us so reluctant with our figures? Because sometimes...
Because if you know our figures, if you are a drinks company, you can be in a position to know how many youths are in Bomet, how many youths are in Kajiado. You can know how to market yourself.
Okay.
Their income, you are running between 50,000 and 100,000. Yeah.
Okay.
In each county. Well, if you are able to know that, you can be in a position to market yourself.
Okay.
Because you can gauge the disposable income of the citizens.
Okay.
Of your customers.
Okay. And now, in connection now to, you mentioned something about social media, because we are living in time and age where social media plays a great impact to any business. And most businesses have grown through social media, and sometimes even through Twitter, and TikTok is now the hinting. People are making money from TikTok, either by selling or basically from content creation.
Yes.
Now, how can we leverage now on social media in the current time and age and pushing up our brands outside there? Because sometimes you find that even most live stream media, or let's say the mainstream media will even do live streaming and make more views rather than having televisions and what have you.
Sure.
How can we now leverage and take advantage of social media to build our businesses?
Now, I have those people who've got a lot of views in social media, maybe in TikTok, to make sure that they are using it in an advantageous manner to promote businesses. That's how they can earn income. Yeah, like you could assist a certain entrepreneur to sell his goods online. Yeah, or to promote his website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, just to appreciate people who are watching and coming in, we have Dr. Harbil, that is Dr. Seronei, is saying that I am seated and watching to learn. And also we have Dominic Chumba, who is saying that he's watching live from Eldoret. Engineer Choki Kosgei, who is saying that he's watching from Nairobi. Kelvin Komba is saying that he's watching from Bugari, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Christopher Kiprona is saying that he's watching from Nairobi. Now, Duncan, sometimes we always have this challenge, sometimes running, especially in this time and age, maintaining and keeping your business afloat. Some people will always have this, like, I need to close this, I need, because of the challenges and the setbacks. Have you ever experienced this feeling that you just wake up one morning and feel like, I think I need to close this KIBET Consultants because of the challenges, because of the setbacks, and because of not meeting your expectation? Have you ever had this moment that you feel like you just want to close this?
Tough times come, but tough times don't last, but tough people do. And when you give up, you don't know what you're giving up. You get?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will normally motivate myself intrinsically. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, other than, what is it that keeps you going? Like, as much as these are the tough moments, these are the tough challenges that I'm facing, what is it that keeps you going? Like, I just need to do this again and again, intrinsically. What is it? Where do you draw your inspiration to keep going?
I draw my inspiration from providing solutions to problems. Yeah.
Okay.
More problems means more business. Yeah.
Now, breaking it down, what does that mean to a layman?
To a layman, is that why do you spend, first of all? You spend to solve your problems, isn't it? Maybe you are hungry, you want to go to an hotel and spend maybe 300 shillings for lunch. That is your expenditure. When you open your mind, is that another man's income is another man's expenditure.
True.
You get? Like when I came to this square for suits, it was an expenditure for me,
but an income
for you,
this square,
isn't it? When I was creating my website, it was an expenditure for you, painful for you, and sweet for me, isn't it? But not painful, because you got a service, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
So another man's income is another man's expenditure. So it's just a matter of solving a problem. There are many problems in this world. Yes.
Okay.
You can solve a problem. It does not even matter that you're in Kenya. You can solve a problem in South Africa and you are here.
Okay.
And you get paid.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, sometimes the more you spend and the lesser the incomes, the poorer you become.
Yes.
But the vice versa means that the richer you become.
Yes.
The more the income, the lesser the expenditure.
Yes.
Do you believe in the same school of thought?
I believe.
Okay. Now, how do you now widen your income base?
By creating leverage.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, because as I'm asking the same question, is yourself, you've been doing this business for some time.
Yes.
And now, how now do you expand your business? How do you grow your business? Sometimes you have that, there are people who believe that the more I diversify my business, or the more I diversify, today I'm in this business, tomorrow I open another business, the more I leverage on risk. But now, people will always say that you specialize until you become special.
Yes.
How do you look forward in growing your business and making more money and making more income come in terms of growth?
Okay, now I go with a change. If it is AI, I embrace AI. Yeah.
Okay.
In my business. Yeah. And I create more leverage using technology. Yes.
Okay.
And the more I have, my team grows, the more I earn. The more the hours my business has got in a day.
Okay.
Yes.
And now looking to 5 years later, 10 years later, where do you want your company to move? What are the next steps that you're looking forward to?
In the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years, I would love my presence to be in other continents. Like now I'm in Africa. I would love to be in Europe. I love to be in Australia and the US. Yes.
What was it like? You're now giving because name has power. When you're choosing to, when you're registering your company as KIBET Consultants International, what was it that you had in mind?
What I had in mind is the power behind the name KIBET. KIBET means daylight. It has to do with daylight. I was born during the day. And it can also be used to mean legit. That you are legit. You do things in the open. Yeah. And you have to work for clean money.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And on another view also is on positive ethnicity. You know, we need to be proud of your Kenyan names. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have like people like companies like Toyota, they are Japanese names, Bata an Indian name. Yes. So we need to embrace our indigenous names also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, KIBET Consultants, that is, it's a growing company, and we are seeing it. If you are not now doing IT, if you are not, because sometimes I get people who always tell us, like, Dan, tell us what kind of business can somebody venture into. Tell us which business is more lucrative currently. If you are not doing this, if you are not doing KIBET Consultants International, if you are not doing IT, which other business could you have imagined that I could have ventured into?
Of course, agriculture. Yes.
Why agriculture?
You know, the next billionaire will be from agriculture. They will not be from tech.
Really?
Yes.
But now, people are now going, there is the aspect of, because we've had even agripreneurs here, we've had people who are doing agribusiness. But now we're looking to a future where we need to think about agri-tech. Does it make sense?
It makes sense, like you could be having a smart greenhouse that senses, you know, you don't have to waste water in irrigation. Like it senses the humidity of the soil. There are those technologies, they are linked to computer science.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it now applicable?
Very applicable. Yes.
So people should now embrace it in terms of on agriculture.
On agriculture. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you going to agriculture, do you think you will have to do the same?
No, I'll have to have a business plan first and do a cost-benefit analysis. Yeah. But I will still do agriculture also.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, because I say that our time is much spent. Now, I want to, in a small bit, now I want to talk about now finances. We talked about money. We talked about sometimes even coming up with capital and ensuring that you invest correctly. People always are, and even the Bible says that any person is always an hostage of the lender. Do you believe in loans, or are you an equity person? Like, do you feel that you can build your wealth using equity, or you have to have some loan? Because somebody said that you cannot run a business without loan financing. What is your school of thought?
My school of thought, you can be pushed to a point whereby you need to borrow something, maybe not a bank, but maybe from a friend, isn't it? But to be specific is that you don't need a loan to start a business. Yes. You
But
don't
to
need
run a
loan.
business? In running a business?
In running a business,
Yeah.
you might not need a loan. It depends. If your service has got demand, you can use the income to run your business.
Okay.
Yes.
And so it means for you, you don't borrow loans as a business person.
I've never borrowed a loan from a bank.
Completely.
Yes. Yeah.
Why? where is the fear? Because any business person is always a risk taker. Why haven't you borrowed alone?
Okay, I've borrowed from friends sometimes back.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we have this generation, and most of us we have a challenge of our phones. Find that somebody will always have some apps on their phones. There is somebody who will have Talas, what, and all those. And sometimes you find that when you do the aggregation and hard, you find that somebody is an hostage of because it becomes an habit. Utafika mtu amechukua 200 hapa, amechukua kama ni mshwari nini, but at the end of the day it's very costly. What do you tell now, being a risk averse when it comes to borrowing? What do you tell our viewers tonight with regard to now borrowing?
Okay, they say that the borrower is a slave to the lender.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe by borrowing,
mm-hmm.
but if there is need to borrow, you can borrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't say that you copy me.
Mm-hmm.
That's my own way of doing things.
Uh-huh.
I don't like borrowing from banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I rather even tell you, if you give me 50K,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you next week
Mm-hmm.
or after a month
Mm-hmm.
than borrow a loan from bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But now when it gets to when you get to the hardest, because sometimes even you cannot bank on friends, you cannot bank on how do you build now your credibility and what you call being honest to your word in business. How do you now ensure that you keep that discipline? And yourself, how do you ensure that you are disciplined enough not to borrow in a bank? Because you are an IT person, you can still borrow on those apps that we've just spoken about. How do you maintain that discipline not to borrow? Mm-hmm.
I have to work on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like working on my income. Like I sell my software, I sell my services to get what I want. Yes. Yeah. But in case there is need, I can borrow. But if friends refuse, I can borrow. Yes.
And sometimes now, forget about it.
That's when you have reached the corner. You will not die because there is
because I was almost now talking now about the current times and age, whereby we've seen people managing expectations, because we've said that you hardly borrow, which means that you do a lot of budgeting with regards to your incomes.
Yes.
That is not to overspend, not to plan for what you don't have.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes the generation that we are dealing with a generation that likes to impress the external world, that I want to look that I'm rich, but probably I'm struggling. And sometimes it leads now to depression. It leads to mental health challenges. And we've seen a lot of young people now venturing and getting into betting and gambling. And of late we've seen people even committing suicide.
Yes.
From these. How can the young generation manage their expectation when it comes to finances, which will lead them to live a normal life, not impressing people?
Yes. It's good to live a simple life. Don't buy anything till you can afford it. Yeah, because you can borrow something, maybe even a car. You can go borrow a car, the next day they are auctioning it. So it's good. It's even better to buy a second-hand car that you can afford it than go for a brand new car that you cannot afford it. So it's better to afford something so that you can buy it. Yeah, because managing our expectations, because unmanaged expectations leads to anxiety, which leads also to depression. Yes.
But then to go in another world that people compete a lot. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
Now, speaking directly to our viewers tonight, and also the young generation, we are competing every day. Now, speaking to these people, what can you say about the heart of contentment?
Okay. Now, I will be brutal in this way, that competition is for fools. People at the top, they don't compete, they collaborate. People at the bottom, they compete. So we rather collaborate instead of competing. Yeah, because today, let me tell you something. For instance, see, you're running this square, and I'm running KIBET Consultants. Even in my general life, there is what I have that you don't have. There is what you have that I don't have. So instead of us competing, we rather complement one another. And that's how we will go far. Yes. Instead of competing. Yeah.
We rather collaborate.
We rather collaborate. Yeah. And comparing yourself with another person, you know, you are a unique person. There is no one like you. No one has got your fingerprint. Isn't it? So instead of doing that, competing, we rather collaborate and accept one another, because no man is an island. Yes.
Okay. We rather collaborate.
We rather collaborate.
Rather than competing.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That's a good one. Now, how does your day look like as we wind up this conversation? Are you a morning person? Are you a night person? Are you evening person?
I'm a night person. Yes.
Tell us about your day. How are you a programmed person? Najua watu wa IT saa zingine you probably you are so programmed. How does your day look like?
Okay, I start my day at 9. Yeah.
You wake up at 9?
No, I'm in town by 9.
Okay.
Yes.
What time do you wake up?
At around 8:30. Yes.
Then you prepare and then...
I prepare. Yes. Then
okay.
I'm in town.
When you are not working, what is it that you do?
When I'm not working?
Yeah.
Of course, when I'm not working, I'm doing my marketing. Yes.
That is also...
I'm maybe doing something else.
Are you a workaholic person, like you're always working? What do you do for leisure? What do you do to unwind your mind?
Maybe connect with friends. Yes.
Okay.
And also online. I'm on TikTok.
I've never seen you on TikTok. Okay.
Yes.
Sawa. Now, as we close this conversation, now, in that being your camera, just give us your parting shot.
Pardon?
Give us your parting shot. That being your camera. What can you tell our viewers tonight with regard to business, or what is your closing remark?
My closing remark is that everyone is a business person, because you have something to offer to the world. You have a problem that you can solve in this world. So now you have to package yourself as a business person, because the world is a business. Yeah. And you have to know that you have a potential inside you. And the basic thing is just to work on yourself. Yeah. Work on your potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for having you tonight on the CEO show. Our time is much spent, but we appreciate for your time and also creating time to be on the CEO show. Your nuggets, I'm sure it has gone a long way, and the main essence of this particular show is always to inform and also to educate our viewers. And I'm sure tonight there is something that they have learned. Personally, I've learned something, that we should not compete, we should collaborate. Thank you for having you tonight. Our viewers tonight, thank you for coming through to the show. It's been an amazing conversation that we've had with none other but Mr. Duncan Ronoh, who is the CEO and also the founder of KIBET Consultants. The question tonight is, what is your take home? What is it that you've learned with regard to IT and also collaborating and combining IT with your business? I'm sure you've learned something. Please drop on the comment section for us to know what is it that you've learned tonight, and also what is it that you've taken home. And I'll be looking also forward to see you next week, having another great conversation with another great guest, and I'm sure we'll always be on time. Forgive us tonight that we came in late, but next week we'll always improve. And thank you for supporting this podcast, and also for making sure that we are here and making sure that we have this conversation going. Tonight, I was so delighted to have you. I'm looking forward again to have you next week. Same place, same time. Remember, I was your host, Dan. May you have a good night, and God bless you.
Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show.